y'all? What up, y'all? We about to talk about this DEI boycott thing. I gotta talk about this because I've been reading a lot on Facebook and on Instagram and Twitter lately about these what's going on with Target and all these places. Target, Walmart. You see Al Sharpton never misses an opportunity to get his old fucking grandma shag in the business. Al Sharpton, cut that fucking shag off the back of your hair. Like, can you taper that shit? Like, damn, it's bad enough you got a perm, but you still got that Miami Vice hanging shag, Joe Biden shag. Like, stop it. You're not from Dallas, nigga. Only Dallas niggas get to wear shags. Not you. Permed out shag, nigga. You got him over here. DEI is the civil rights legislation for the day. Man, clown, sit your ass down. You know, we got the DEI stuff going on. Niggas is wanting, black people are mad, so you know. You said, am I echoing? How my sound, y'all? How's my sound? Let me know how my sound sounds. Is my sound good? Like, but you got Shaq Sharpton, Al Sharpton. Y'all say there's too much echo. Why the fuck is it echoing? Everybody's saying, I'm getting half people saying it sounds fine to them. Other half saying sound is good. I'm good on my mic right here. I'm good on my mic. Y'all need to go ahead and refresh your browsers if it's tripping. Because I got too many people saying it's good. And I have my echo cancellation working. Echo cancellation is on. It's reverberating. I see why. Oh, let me see here. Let me do something. I see what y'all saying. Hold on, motherfucker. Hold on. I see what y'all saying. Let me fix this. For some reason, it's not picking up my mic. It's picking up the computer audio. And fuck computer audio. Let me fix this shit. Then I'm gonna repeat what I had to say because my mic, for some goddamn reason, is going through computer mic. Come on now. I'm gonna fix this shit because I hate bad audio. Thank you, Chubby, for sending me that text. No, motherfucker, no. That's not what I want. I want Scarlet. Let me see audio. Maybe if I restart. Last time I unplugged and replugged this shit in, it worked. Unplug. Sometime. Oh yeah, we had a power outage here last night. There we go. There we go, goddammit. We had a power outage last night. And when that power outage shit happened, fuck everything up. We good now? Now I'm plugged in through my mic, not that bullshit ass computer audio. We good? Y'all good? Is my audio right now? My mod Chubby sent me a text. It was like, man, your audio fucked up, homie. Are we good now? What's up, Mama Zeke? Unique, organic, human. Much better, West Gal. All right, cool. We good now. We good. Thank y'all. Cause I'm over here looking at my shit and it's like, oh, it's computer audio. Who the fuck want to listen to a podcast through computer audio? That's why, like, you ever watch some podcasts that interview one of the old folks from back in the day, and they still be on computer audio? You be like, Grandma, you got some good wisdom, but shit. It was this old metaphysical channel I used to listen to back in the day, and the lady would have computer audio, and she would play her sound bowls. And like, lady, do you know how fucking crazy that sounds through computer audio playing a sound bowl? And she'd hit that motherfucker, they'd be like, dang! I'm like, Hey. Bad audio pisses me off. Just like people who smack their food. Why the fuck do people decide to get on a podcast and start their meal of the day? Nigga, you couldn't eat before you went live? They be like, let me get started. Now, in the news today, Joe Biden said to Trump, nigga, my rule is this. Look, if you gotta eat while you talking, whatever you saying don't mean shit to me, because it don't mean shit to you. It's people who eat when they do podcasts ain't got shit to say, and neither do people with a thick lisp. People with a heavy lisp, that's God's way of saying that nigga ain't talking about shit. I'm gonna get this nigga a lisp to let you niggas know this is not one of my chosen vessels to speak. This is my workhorse, not my speaking. So when God gives somebody a thick ass lisp, or if they smack and eat while they podcasting and talking, they ain't telling you shit. I'm serious about that. I'll listen to some. It's people I done been stopped listening to. And then every now and again I'll go back to their channel, and then as soon as you fire their channel up, let's get this thing started here. Then these motherfuckers be chewing on corn nuts and chips and sandwiches and shit. I'm like, nigga, you must not have it must not be that important to you. If nigga, I'm not here to have meal time with your ass. Anyway, let me get back to what I was saying. So, DEI and the DEI boycotts. These DEI boycotts, I'm glad we had that break, that pause. Because I was about to go in a more angry direction, but I just thought about that. Somebody said Kwame Brown show. Yeah, I used to listen to Kwame a hell of a lot, and I would still listen to him a hell of a lot more if the nigga didn't eat all the goddamn time on his podcast. I'd be like, all right, yeah, next. Because I like listening to podcasts when I got these on, when I got the AirPods on. And the worst thing, because these have great fucking audio, but when you it's one thing when you listening like on a speaker somewhere, it's less annoying. But you listening on this, nigga, all you hearing is snap, crackle, pop, and a word every now and then. You'd be like, God damn, that's the most annoying shit when you got these hoes on. Great for music, but people who eat when they podcast, man, that shit got your ears. You'd be like, ah. Yeah. Now I don't use noise canceling. I only use noise canceling on the airplane. I make sure to do transparency mode. I gotta hear everything around me when I'm listening to my music. Fuck that noise canceling shit. Noise canceling is only on the airplane. Anywhere else, I gotta be in transparency mode. I gotta hear my whole environment. Anyway, so back to what we're talking about, this whole DEI thing. I'm a natural immunity. You niggas are stupid. I don't watch Jason Whitlock. I stopped paying attention to him a decade ago. So T Dynamite. Yeah. Even if I'm at home, I have my no. Even when I'm at home, no noise canceling. Even when I'm on mushrooms, nigga, I gotta hear my environment. But anyway, I was going to go in a different direction, but I'm going to go in a more forgiving direction. Because I've been seeing a lot of people wanting to boycott Target and Walmart because Target and Walmart are ending their DEI programs. And people are wanting to boycott Snoop and Nelly and Rick Ross and the people who perform. What I'm seeing is a population of black folks that want to be politically engaged. But most of y'all are full of shit. Let's just tell the truth. It's like it's this emotional thing to where the minute the Democrats or an Al Sharpton with his shags get out there, even if you don't like Al Sharpton, the minute that whole crew, they get Tamika Mallory for the younger generation and these people to come out and say, this is wrong. And you allow these Roland Martins, these D.L. Hewleys to get you pumped up and end up boycotting some shit that didn't even help you. Like, black folks, we gotta just tell the truth and tell the truth with love. Overall, 8 out of 10 is just hella confused. You got 2 out of 10 that's seeing things straight. And that's up because 6-7 years ago, it was 1 out of 10 seeing things straight. Hell, if it was going back to pre-2010, it was 5 out of 100 seeing things straight, or 4 out of 100 seeing things straight. But we've upped that in the last decade or so. We've upped that to maybe 2 out of 10 black folks kind of seeing things straight. The majority is still on that bullshit, and that is the emotion. The emotion, and too many of us allow these people to rile up emotion and get you ready to boycott. I want to talk today about boycotts and why boycotts, not saying that they'll never have a place, but boycotts are done. Like, black people, the boycott thing, stop it. I've been hearing people talk about boycott. I'm 43 now. I remember the boycotts of the late 80s and the early 90s of boycott Procter and Gamble because they're racist. You went right back to buying Tide. I mean, the boycott thing, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And we're going to dive in. Let's dive into why they don't work. Let's dive into what boycotts did work and how they worked and why that won't work now and can't work now. If you notice, when people talk about boycotts, they always reference the Montgomery Bus Boycott. And I will have some of y'all call in later. If y'all want to call in, get ready. Y'all can call in in about 30, 45 minutes. That's what we're going to title this. Why boycotts don't work. Let's first talk about the Montgomery Bus Boycott. Let's talk about that one since that's the one people like to reference the most. There we go. Let me play my background music. The reason why they don't work, like with the Montgomery Bus Boycott, let's take that. First off, Montgomery, Alabama is a small town. That's a small controlled environment. Let me look at the population. Let me see. Population out in 1955. Let me go to chat. Let me ask that. Population of Montgomery, Alabama in 1955. So, let me see. Let me see here. Okay. So the population of Montgomery, Alabama was 150,000. They said black people made up 50 to 60% of Montgomery, so that's about 75 to 90,000 people. So off top, when we're dealing with the Montgomery Bus Boycott, we're dealing with a smaller control sample. We're not dealing with 43 million people. We're dealing with about 75 to 90,000 people. One. Out of that 75 to 90,000, out of that 75 to 90,000, they said it'd be about 75% of the riders on the bus system were black. So black people made up 3/4 of their fan base, 3/4 of their fan base. I'm not fan base, of their money base. So one, you got a small environment. Two, the people riding make up the majority of the money. And I don't want to hear nobody coming and saying, we got $2 trillion to spend. America has a $40 trillion GDP. You divide $2 trillion to $40 trillion is a drop in the bucket. Can it hurt? Yes. Can they survive without it? Yes. Niggas got to stop jerking ourselves off with that. Oh, we spend the most. No, the fuck we don't spend the most. That's one of the most misconstrued lies. Bruh, our 2 trillion to the America's 40 trillion. So that's off top. That's off top. You're dealing with a small sample in Montgomery. You're dealing with the majority of the income that comes in being black. Number 3, you're only dealing with black Americans. You don't have other groups of black people that have different sets of interests at that time. Black America, starting in Red Summer 1919, after World War I, Black America went through an ethnogenesis after World War I. When we fought in World War I, came back and saw how America treated us. We had, suspicions over how Booker T. Washington died mysteriously in 1915. And when we saw how we were treated after World War I, we went through an ethnogenesis to where we started to get on cold with each other. You have to understand that the Civil Rights Movement started Red Summer 1919. All right? By the time we get to 1955, we're now 36 years into the Civil Rights Movement. Is my math correct? Is my math correct on that? 25, no, 26 years. Check my math, y'all. Shit. I'm high. I've been smoking weed, so my math ain't the best. The 36, 26, however many goddamn years from 1919 to 1955. That's how far we're into this civil rights movement. You're dealing with only black Americans. See, 100 years, if this was 60 years prior, there's division between mulattoes, Melungeons, octoroons, black, Indian. Because in Alabama, you still got a lot of Poarch Indians that got reclassified as black. I know this through family stories. There are still a lot of black people in Alabama that never left Alabama, that never got enslaved. They were Creek Indians, they were Poarch, and they were, for the most part, made to re-identify themselves in the late 1800s. And you had these squabbles at that time in the late 1800s.
But by the time you get to the 1920s, 1930s, black people realize this inner squabbling shit don't work. We realized that in about the 20s and the 30s is when we started to come together and leave that octoroon Indian. We're all Negro at that time, and very clear that we're Negro. Martin Luther King, Medgar Evers. Medgar Evers was a second generation civil rights leader. Martin Luther King was a third generation civil rights leader. Understand, Booker T. Washington and those guys in the early 1900s, they gave way to Ida B. Wells, A. Philip Randolph in the 1920s, and A. Philip Randolph took off in the 30s and the 40s. That's where him, Paul Robeson, those guys. So King and X, that generation, they're the third generation of quote unquote civil rights leaders. So black people have been building a momentum for a little while at that time. And so when we get to Montgomery, we're dealing with a small sample size of people that are on code because they've gone through that ethnogenesis and realized that they are one. We don't have that now, unfortunately, in Black America. We have other groups of people with our skin color who are here. They only concern is getting paid. And that's just true. If it offends you, not my problem. I know enough people from the diaspora, whether it be Africa or Caribbean, and most of them I'm still cool with to this day. I ain't got no issues with them. But it's very clear that their priority is getting paid. And they don't see themselves as us. So that's not an issue that they dealt with in 1955. Everybody knew, from light-skinned Rosa Parks to the darkest of the darkest, that we all were one. Another reason why it worked was for those divergent, deviant niggas who did not understand who we are. There was an enforcement mechanism. Yeah. When people broke the law, the code of what was going on, they would come see you. They would first come and see if they can help. Well, even before we get to that point, there was an alternative mode of transportation. Black people were able to not get on a bus because those with cars started carpooling. They made a way for people who couldn't get on the bus to get to work. And then for those who didn't obey, there was somebody coming to knock their monkey asses out. Yeah, like niggas would get their ass beat. Or like if a woman's getting on the bus, oh, we can't beat you, lady, but we could beat your husband's ass. And that's what niggas, there was an enforcement. You can learn a lot of that in this book called We Will Shoot Back. This is a great fucking book talking about the Mississippi Freedom Movement. But it's stories in here. When people were like, when black folks would decide to boycott a shop, if somebody wasn't compliant to the boycott, niggas would come to your house and whoop your ass. What was you gonna do? Call the police? In the backwoods of Mississippi and Alabama? I think not. But you can find a lot of those stories in this book right here called We Will Shoot Back. We Will Shoot Back. Look up this book right here. It tells you so much about the power that we use. So it's not like black people were just on some kumbaya shit. They get their ass whooped if they didn't comply. None of these things are part of our current social makeup right now. And so when it comes to boycotting Target or Walmart, if you're going to boycott Target and Walmart, where are you going to get your stationery? Where are you going to get your trinkets and stuff you need to run a house, dishwashing liquid? Where are you going to buy soap to wash your nutsack? Where are you going to get shaving cream? Long term, are there any places in your town that have all of these things that you can go to and support instead and replace and place it with? The answer is, and Amazon's part of the boycott too, by the way. So where are you going to go? How are you going to sustain this for 2, 3, 4 years? Remember when we was boycotting the NFL? Remember that? All it took was for the NFL to allow touchdown celebrations. And then when that wasn't enough, tell Jay-Z to come in and say, all right, boycott's over. People was like, man, Jay-Z is sellout. And then tune right to that fucking game. You got to think long term. Boycotts are not a quick emotional rash decisions. They're well thought out. And systems are put in place for you to sustain the boycott like they were in Montgomery, Alabama. And leverage has to be had. Somebody said that boycott opens up opportunities for businesses if we all say it solid. Okay, what opportunities? I'm not saying this to call you out. I'm just saying we got to think this is a study group. We got to think. Okay, what opportunities? What do we have in place that can replace these particular stores? Sustained. Is it feasible? That's the next question you got to ask. Is this feasible? What if you live in an area that the nearest place that's not one of these places is the other side of town? Are you going to be able to maintain that for 4 to 5 years? And then you got to be honest with yourself. Mom and pop stores, like, this is a casualty of the 80s. In the 80s, you had a lot of options, but the corporate mergers throughout the 80s and the 90s consolidated. You don't even have competition in big box brands anymore. There used to be Target, Kmart, Zodi's, Woolworth. Remember, you used to have all them stores. You don't have all them stores no more. Just like a handful. There are no boycott. You're right. Had you said this has been real. There are no alternatives. And this is the reason why white folks can't. It's the reason why Al Sharpton keeps pointing you back. Because as long as you look back, you're not going to look at your current environment. You got to live in the world you live in, not the world you want to live in. Facts. Even if you wanted electronics, we used to have Circuit City, Best Buy, and it was all kinds of different. It was all kind of mom and pops. You had Radio Shack. You had the small mom and pop ones. You had the big. You really only got Best Buy now. If you want to go somewhere. Service merchandise, Montgomery Ward, yep. There used to be options. The 80s and the 90s and the 2000s killed that. Fries. There aren't options anymore. And that's not just for us wanting to boycott. That's for America. Corporate America, through the system of conglomerates, has pulled the leverage out of the hands of the common American. So even if any other group wants to come around and boycott, how? How? Black people, we got to get out of, we just need some unity. Shut up. No group is united. The only thing that unites other groups is violence. Period. The threat of violence. White supremacy is united because white supremacy has a punishment system for those who break their system. Those who help us, they don't get those white jobs. They gonna get criminalized like a nigga when they go to court. They have a punishment mechanism. And they have a system to where it can be enforced. We don't have that. It's not that we're all just scrambled. No, it's just that we're not willing to burn nobody because they don't agree with us. And I don't think that's a bad thing. White people were when they built in white supremacy, white women that would hang out with those Indian and black witches would get literally burned at the stake in the 1690s. White people would get lynched. There's more white people that got lynched in America. You ever ask yourself, why do you only see pictures of black people being lynched when more white people were lynched in America? Lynching was just a way that they executed you for breaking the law. You know how many white people had to get lynched for teaming up with black people? And I'm not willing to go there. It's two things that enforces the code: the threat of violence and economics. Money, those are the only two ways you're going to enforce the code. Economics and violence. That's it. If you don't have an economic system that can support the change, then it's going to fall away. If you don't have the violence, it's going to fall away. Other groups are very violent towards each other, and they have economic stratification that they can hold over each other for punishing. A lot of you niggas be living in fantasy land. We gotta go with the world that we're in, not the world that we want. We gotta start in our current environment. We live in a country now to where everything is being consolidated. Even airlines, for God's sakes. God damn. Spirit's about to go out of business. JetBlue is they owned by, you have United that's now owned Continental and Alaska. All these mergers, and online you got the Android base, you got the Apple base. Which one do you want to get fucked over by? I don't give a fuck what race you are. You got two choices in America. And America made it that way on purpose. Talking we lack discipline. That's a bunch of bullshit. We lack we lack opportunities. And most people do. The only people who got somewhere else they can't go is the small hats. They control the finance. And that's worldwide. That's here, that's France, that's Russia. That's the Cayman Islands. Nigga, the small hats are the only ones that really got it like that. That story is a whole nother one, though. I don't even want to get into that story. I ain't trying to fuck up my algorithm. Yeah, no, that's right. Nobody's disciplined. Like, nobody. We live in a society that picks winners and losers. One thing we can stop is this whole self-depriving where we not. How many niggas can tell y'all what we are? Think about this. You go to, I'm looking on social media. I see Lil Duval talking some shit about black people, the groups that's not united. It's all like, okay, what have you done to unite us? Like, what have you done to educate us? People can spend more time telling us what we not than what we are. You're only going to win with who you are. It's not enough to tell somebody what you're not. Everybody got deficits, but can you tell us what we are and how we can use what we are to win? And we gonna get to that part because I can, at least from my perspective. I don't know the whole goddamn story. I ain't got all the answers. I just got my perspective. But so that's the world we're living in. We have a two-party system. We got two stores we can go to for every goddamn thing. That's where we are right now. So we got to see that. Okay, maybe I can't boycott. Maybe I can't boycott. I saw people talking about boycott Fat Joe when that shit was going on. My question was, who the fuck ever bought Fat Joe to begin with? You just giving this dude energy by even saying boycott. Like, now you're giving him clout by even saying boycott Fat Joe. I was just saying, let's just do what we've been doing, Fat Joe. We ain't never bought his shit. Ignore Fat Joe. It's not like people were going, who on a right goddamn world said, man, I can't wait for that Fat Joe album to drop. It's like niggas use the word boycott way too much. Nobody cares, black people. Nobody cares about our boycotts anymore. Okay? It's not a threat. It's not a threat. Boycotts are not a threat. Quan, you ain't blocked. Oh, he said another bot. I don't know. I'm not into the mods shit. Salute to all my mods. Let people disagree. Just have them call in when it's all done. That's all. But boycotts have been so trivialized. Boycotts have been so trivialized to where now they're not an honest threat. And that's the reason why Tamika Mallory, Al Sharpton and his shag, and all of the old school left vote blue no matter who crowd. And let me tell you something else about the boycott crowd. All these people you see talking about boycott, where were they when reparations was on the table here in California? Where are they on reparations and wherever they are? Because it's reparations task force and paperwork stuff happening all across the country. Where is Ricky Smiley to use his microphone to elevate that conversation, or D.L. Hewley? Where's Al Sharpton and Roland Martin when we're being proactive? Laws get changed through proactiveness on a local level. The reason why the national voting rights thing passed was because black people, again, if you read this book, in Mississippi, Alabama, Arkansas, Texas, Louisiana, Georgia, was on the ground. South Carolina was on the ground changing things locally, starting in the 20s. Starting in the 20s, they were changing things locally. It took 30 some odd goddamn years for that shit to go national. 30, 40 years. We don't understand that. It took over 30 years for that 1964 civil rights legislation. That movement started in 1919. And that's not even that's just like when it codified during Red Summer, when we was fighting back. It's not that we never stopped fighting. We were always fighting. We always had our Frederick Douglasses, our Booker T. Washingtons. We've always had them. Callie House. We've never not fought. But after Reconstruction, we got like when Reconstruction ended in 1877, we thought we had friends with white folks during the Populist Party rebellion in the 1880s and the 1890s. They started bringing all these immigrants in to replace us. And we were still trying to do a populist thing in the 1890s. Trying to appeal to McKinley and all them. Roosevelt. And then we realized in the early, after World War I, we had no friends. So that's when we sort of codified our civil rights movement. And it took 35 years for the first laws to pass. Think about that. So when you see the civil rights movement, what you're seeing is a culmination of 3 generations of black people who were codified enough with each other. Whether you light skin, dark skin, brown skin, pale. If you're from Mississippi, if you're from Georgia, we're black. We're Negroes. That was one thing that you had going on back then. So you cannot compare that environment to today's environment. You didn't have centralized corporations on things. Like you had your big Sears and Roebuck and all these people, but the big box stores weren't the only option. You had tons of options. So if black people were going to boycott a particular store, it's because they had 3 or 4 other stores that did the same thing, that sell the same products. You had options. Those options don't exist in 2025 because of the last 35 years of the corporatization of America. Again, black people, it's bigger than just looking at your own world. We just need to get together. We just don't have no unity. Nigga, we ain't got options. Somebody said 35 between that, they were burning black towns. That's a half truth. We was also burning they towns too. That's the truth. No, but you got to understand, the black towns were getting burned down in the 1890s. In the 18 teens. Black Wall Street was one of the last black towns to really get burned down like that. They were slowing down on burning black towns by the time we got to Black Wall Street. That was starting to slow down by then. Most of that shit was kicking up in the 1890s. Wilmington and all that shit. Read this book. We was shooting back. It was a war in America. They wasn't just coming in fucking with us. It was a flat out, the 1955 to 1965, America was literally at war. Black people were, there's this part in this book, let me see if I can find it real quick, where they're talking about, let me see, was it this one? Nah, I can't find it. Here it is. Look at this person right here, Hartman Turnbo. Y'all gotta look him up, Hartman Turnbo. Hartman Turnbo literally had like so many cocktail bombs, he set his own house on fire. Like there was this one story in that book to where they heard that the Klan was gonna march in on a black town. And the men, the women and children got together and to create pipe bombs. Not pipe bombs, cocktail bombs. They got all the moonshine, all the liquor, all the rubbing alcohol, and the children and the women got together literally in a house creating cocktail bombs while the men spread out the town and got in trees. And the plan was, as the Klan was marching down, the men were in trees with guns. And when the Klan started to march through, they fired a warning shot. And as the Klan started coming through even more. So they started picking Klan members off. And the thing was, they were going to let the Klan get to the house. And then once they got past a certain point and went to the house where they thought the black people were, they had cocktail bombs and they was going to let all the Klan members go inside and set the whole fucking house on fire. I mean, there are hundreds of stories like that just in this one book. Hundreds of stories of black people, men, women, and children getting together to create like arms and like really fuck them up. There was a story in this book about them going, the black folks in one of the small towns in Mississippi was literally about to burn the courthouse down to free somebody that was in prison wrongly. America was at war. Okay? Black people were at war. We were not just no fucking sitting ducks. We were not sitting ducks. The reason why they listened to us, they only got Dr. King once in Mississippi. They only got him once. The reason why they never got him again was because of the Deacon Defense, which was one of dozens of armed militias, by the way, in Mississippi. We only hear about the Deacons of Defense, but there were way, 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 way more. And what they would do when Dr. King, Medgar Evers, when any of the people would come to town, they would set up perimeters. And when, Medgar Evers, Medgar was about his guns. So Medgar, they didn't care. They would be right there with Medgar with their shotguns out. But with Dr. King didn't want the guns. So the armed militias would always parallel the streets that Dr. King was on. And they set up checkpoints. They would not allow white men to drive past checkpoints when Dr. King was in town. You couldn't be a caravan of white folks and get past the checkpoints when Dr. King was in town, when he was going through Mississippi, when he was going through Alabama. There were organized militias that would parallel all of his movements. Do y'all know that? And stop talking about what we don't have, nigga. Let's be creative on creating something for today's environment. No more that we ain't got. We ain't got just mean we got to get. That's all the fuck that means. Now, put your mind focused on what we got to get. We know what we ain't got. We hear that shit over and over. We ain't got unity. We ain't got that. We ain't got. I had to stop watching something like a lot of these metaphysical channels I used to watch. It'll be certain people that will come on and they'll be like, well, black folks ain't prepared for this. Black folks ain't prepared for that. Well, nigga, get to preparing. The fuck is we talking for? I can feel the cool breeze when my ass is out. You dig? If you put on a hospital gown right now and walked outside, would you need somebody to tell you, hey, your ass is out? No, you know you got a hospital. Even if you didn't know you had a hospital gown on, the minute you put that little thin thing on and walk outside, you're going to feel a quick little breeze let you know your ass is out. You don't need nobody to tell you. The only thing you need to do is, how do I get some clothes to cover my ass? That's where your mind needs to be. All that we ain't got, well, get it, nigga. Shit. I know the primary reason why, going to this DEI stuff, you see how DEI does not benefit black people. That's the other thing that they had with the boycotts. They had a righteous cause. Boycotting DEI, that's not a righteous cause. Black people benefit the least from DEI. And the handful of black people you see that do benefit, you can guarantee half of them are gay. We don't even benefit from this shit. And look who you have talking. You got me talking. I got a company that does anti-black racism training. A major part of my company's income is going to these corporations and training them on anti-black. But do you know I purposely labeled mine anti-black and not DEI? And it was a hard decision to come to because DEI is where all the money was. But even I was saying, you know what? I got to go right to what the real cause is. This is bullshit. Now, in a lot of ways, this DEI stuff that they're doing, that directly affects me. Because now a lot of these companies are going to be like, you know what? We don't need that. Because they don't need DEI. Now, my company is that's why I focus on companies that are getting sued for what they doing to black people. Because that's a righteous cause. Anti-black racism is a righteous cause. Because when you get all your DEI hires, they don't hire black people. You don't see all these white women DEI, affirmative action hires hiring black people, do you? People of color. They don't extend the hand back to you. And all that shit was built off of the 35 years of civil rights struggle that all those years of civil rights struggle from 1919 to 1964, 65. Really, you can say the civil rights era culminated in 1969 with the death of Fred Hampton and Bunchy Carter. That's 50 years from the inception of the modernist civil rights struggle to the end. Boycotts were a very, very, very small part of that movement. Appreciate the super chat, Tammy Dorsey. Likewise. Much love to you. Much love to everybody out there. DEI is bullshit, and it hurts black people. And had you been listening, part of the reason why I'm in position right now in my companies is because when I read Dr. Claude Anderson, Black Labor, White Wealth, when I read Powernomics, I saw that the world that they're making doesn't include me. And it got confirmed in 2009, 8 when I was looking for a job. At the time in 2000, between 2008, 2009, I was looking for more employment in banking and mortgage. Because at the time, I had years of experience. I started working at the bank when I was 18. I did new accounts. I did loans. I was over the vault. And I had gotten promoted all the way up to operations supervisor at the bank by the time I was 23. I was operations supervisor. And then I did mortgage banking for a while. I did hard money lending. I did Alt A paper. I did A paper. And I started applying for jobs around like, I want to get a better position. So I started applying for banking jobs 2008. Do y'all know that DeJuan Brown got 0 calls back for an interview? 9 years working experience and a college degree. 9 years working experience and a college degree. U.S. Bank didn't call back. Wells Fargo didn't call back. Chase didn't call back. Bank of America didn't call back. Then I started doing these other smaller credit unions, savings and loans. And then I had to switch my name up to Don Brown, D-O-N. When I switched it up to Don Brown and I reapplied to Chase, I started getting interviews. But then when my big black asses show up, they'll be like, Don! Yeah. and it'll be a dry ass interview and they wouldn't call back. And I was just like, what's going on? What's going on? I got a degree. I did everything America told me to do. I have an impeccable record. My driving record's clean. Like you're not even gonna find a moving violation on my driving record. And I've been driving since 1999. I have 0 tickets on my record. I'm very clean in a lot of ways, you know. And we are, you know, as far as like following the law, you know, I got a college degree. You know what I mean? I got good references. I'm a hard worker. Every job that I had, and I cannot get a chance. But I'm saying people named Oli Moly Akinwale get jobs. I'm seeing a whole bunch of Spanish-speaking preferred jobs, or Spanish-speaking only, or Spanish preferred. And I'm like, this branch is in Compton. This branch is on Crenshaw. What the fuck you need Spanish preferred? 80% of your customers is Black Americans. The fuck I gotta be Spanish speaking for to get this job? I went through that shit personally with a fucking degree. And that made me go back and reread Black Labor, White Wealth, and Powernomics, and I realized then, and this is a lesson for black people out there, I applied what Dr. Claude Anderson said. Because I ended up getting the job doing something else. That's because I had a friend's mom that had a job, but I was in the field working with kids. And I had already done some volunteer work with kids, so that allowed me to get that other job I had working with kids. But when Hidden Colors dropped, that made me revisit Dr. Claude Anderson. Because Dr. Claude Anderson came to my church when I was a kid. And I was like, oh yeah. That made me go back and read those books while I was on that job. Because I was like, man, I got this job now, but this is probably the last job I'm ever going to get. And as I'm reading Black Labor, White Wealth, Dr. Claude Anderson talking about black people being replaced and they bring in more immigrants. And I'm saying, yeah, I applied for that job. Now, Ulabulu Matutu, that nigga got the job and not me. I applied Dr. Claude Anderson. I didn't just sit back and say, oh, he sound good. Now let me go back to fucking off. I said, nah, I'm gonna have to change some shit up. Yeah, Carl Langley, there's not that dumb crabs in the barrel, but yeah, crabs don't belong in the bucket, and crabs do lock in together to survive in the wild. Facts, Carl Langley. But I'm seeing this work in real time. The issue with a lot of black people, especially, and I say this especially to you, we ain't got enough, we ain't together, we ain't united. Y'all, this goes double for you niggas. I notice when black people get information, that shit turns into information porn. Y'all jack off on the goddamn information instead of doing something about it. Instead of saying, okay, I'm gonna read Black Labor, White Wealth, and now, let me set myself up so I don't get fucked up. You'll just sit back and watch these goddamn Claude Anderson videos and share and repost, write a deep thinking post on it, but go right back to doing what the fuck you was doing before you made that post. That be you, we need to get together, niggas. Y'all share 10 Dr. Claude Anderson videos. Y'all share a Neely Fuller video. Y'all share some Dr. Welton, but won't apply a goddamn thing that they say to your own personal life. And then turn around and say, we don't stick together. Tired of you niggas. Apply, nigga. So, when I was on my last job, I spent my last 5 years, I said, you know what? I'm not the best. I had to be honest with myself. I'm not the best at turning $1 into $2 in some ways. So let me get better at it. Like, I'm good at it. Like, I was able to buy a house fresh out of college, but I need to get better at it. I kind of know what to do, but I can't kind of know what to do. I got to know what to do. So after I put down, I read Powernomics and I sat it down and took my black ass to the Small Business Development Center and learned some fucking business. YouTube University right here. You can take time off of this of certain videos and learn some shit. You got Chat GPT now that'll give you a chain of command. You be the person that comes together. Stop talking about what black people don't come together, nigga. You probably don't come together. Build your own nest egg. Build your own, cultivate your own skills, and then you be the person working with black people. Instead of worried about what black people don't do this and black people don't do that. Well, if my thing is this, water meets its own level. If the only black people you coming around don't get together, don't help each other, don't share, my question is, who the fuck are you? Because I share. I come together with black people. And they come together with me. They share with me. They pass information around with me. I know a lot of black people that do that. So the question is how to. I told y'all what we gonna do. That's the answer. Develop yourself, and you be the person developing with other black people. And if one black person fuck you over, don't blame the whole race either, nigga. Because will some black people fuck you over? Hell yes. There are a lot of black snakes, a lot of black criminals, a lot of black degenerates that will fuck you over. Yes. And I ain't talking about just Nigerian scammers. I'm talking about homegrown, foundational black American degenerates will fuck you over. Yeah, my thing is this. Every time I got fucked over, it was a lesson. It was a blind spot that I didn't see. And I just corrected my fuck up and then went right back at it. And the next time around, I saw somebody ready to come with one of them angles. I was ready to go. I was like, got that nigga out the way. I'm going to work with this black person and not this one because this nigga's a snake. I still deal with black snakes. This is not like, nigga, we ain't perfect. You gonna run across a whole bunch of sorry ass, ain't shit, not worth nothing niggas. That's life, nigga. Stop crying and bitching and move on to somebody who's good. Oh, black person screwed me over. Man, they say a black snake will get you just, Thurgood Marshall said a black snake will get you just as fast as a white one. Meanwhile, you're getting fucked over by Netflix every time you pay your bill. You're getting fucked over by every time you put gas in your car by a white company. You're getting fucked over your energy costs by some white folks and you don't say shit. Don't say a motherfucking thing. Oh, my nigga Mark Prince in the building. What up, dog? That's my dog right there. Speaking of karma, I love talking. This nigga Mark Prince was around every ass whooping that ever happened in comedy. He was there that night. Tupac got in a big ass fight at the Comedy Store. He wasn't part of it, but he was there. This nigga was there. This nigga got all the stories of comics getting their ass knocked out. I'm putting you on the spot. Nah, but Mark Prince is a great, y'all seen him on this show before. Great father. Talk about working together. My man Mark Prince got a spot over here in the Murder Park. He called me in for my t-shirts. This dude, this black man right here is somebody that if he got something going on, I got something going on. If I got something going on, he got something going on. When I had my show with me and Tashina, Mark, you want to get on stage? Let's go. Whether it be comedy. I worked with too many people like Mark Prince to let you niggas tell me that black people don't work together. I've been working, this brother's been nothing but good business for well over a decade. Well over a decade, this brother's been good business. And I gotta sit back and listen to somebody, black people don't work together. That's nigga, probably because you ain't shit. That's why. Look in the mirror. Look in the mirror if that's everybody. But yes, black people are not perfect and black people will fuck you over. Find the nigga who won't. And the next thing, get good at what you do. Whatever you do, refine your skills and get good at it. Get good at it, get good at it, get good at it. As long as I've been studying and researching music, I wasn't this vocal 15 years ago. I had to keep getting better at it. I had to keep getting better at it. When I read my cards to y'all, I have zero complaints for people who've gotten card readings. Because I didn't come to y'all and then when people got business to take care of, anyone who's ever bought a t-shirt from me knows. Anybody who's ever had an issue, I usually respond the same day, maybe the next. As busy as I am, if something happens with one of my t-shirts or one of my Black American trees that you guys buy, I'm on that shit same motherfucking day. I get because I deal with a fulfillment center. Sometimes they fuck up. Sometimes they send shit to the wrong address or you put in the wrong address. I'm on that shit same motherfucking day. Because I got black people who ordered from me and these niggas got to get treated like the royalty that they are. That's my standard. Black person spend money with me, I'm about to treat you like a motherfucking king or a queen. My readings, I go over all the time on my readings. Because my readings aren't done until the questions are answered, until it's right. I don't go too far over. I've gotten so good to where I can answer most of your questions before time. But I'm going to deliver service, period. So what if a nigga gave me a negative review or didn't like a t-shirt and said some funny shit about the quality of my t-shirt? What am I going to say? Oh man, you can't do nothing for black people. This black person looked at my t-shirt and said that he didn't like it. So, grow a dick, nigga, and get over it. Make sure that you are the person you seek. And stop looking for the next nigga to do what you can do. I appreciate that, Wally next door. Appreciate that. Yeah, and go to blisscapsules.com. Type in the product code DejuanB. Buy 2, get 1 for free. So that's where we are with it. Get good. Refine your skills. Let's build. It's going to take time to build up to where we do have options, to where boycotts can work. We're not there right now. But we can get there if each individual takes it upon themselves to hone their own skill set and give the rest of the world your skills. We got Quan S in here. She's an architect. Hopefully some people call her here in California that need their shit rebuilt. If you black, we got a black woman architect in the building right now. You become a motherfucking GOAT at what you do. And don't think that your skill set is small. That's another thing. People will be you'll be on some dope shit. You'll have some dope shit, but you minimize it. One of the issues of white supremacy is done with us. One of the areas white supremacy has done a number on us is we don't believe in ourselves. How many black people right now in the chat room? How many of y'all got a cousin, a friend, somebody in the neighborhood that you knew or knew at the time? They were so talented at something, but they didn't see it. They didn't believe in it. They ended up doing something else and letting that talent taste away. Or you saw them waste away. Or you saw them get a job and that job took them away from what they was really good at. How many of y'all in the chat room know people, you just see their talent, you be like, damn. How many of y'all in the chat have run across that person or know somebody like that? To where you just be like, man, they got all that talent, but damn. Yeah, we all know people like that. Well, the other person like that is you. Everybody listening got a particular talent that other black people need because our needs are 360 degrees. We're all responsible for one slither of information. We're all responsible for one part of a whole. But we have such a big fear of failure. Yeah, Big Sky, fear of failure. We have such a big fear of failure. And we have this thing where we minimize our talent to where we think it's just a little bit of small thing, but you get that time to a day job instead. Now, I know you need your money, but the rest of us need you. The rest of us need you. So you got to get your skill level up and be impeccable with your business, be impeccable with your word. And if enough of us do that, we some dynamic people. We're going to create some dope shit. That's why I speak so highly of us and speak so much of what we've done. I don't speak on our history to stay stuck in our history. I speak on our history to let us know that we can do 10 times as great now and moving forward. That's why I speak on our history. Because enough of us do that, somebody's going to... Motown was not built alone. Motown stood on the shoulder of giants. You got to go... Motown was stood on what was built in Chicago. VJ Records, Brunswick Records, and Record Row in Chicago. There were a lot of record companies at Chess Records, some of them white owned that were run by black people, some of them completely black owned and run. And VJ took it to a certain point. When VJ Records took black music to a certain point, and then they released the Beatles, and then Capitol Records sued them out of business, Motown was able to take it to another step. And then Philadelphia International was able to take it to another step. They all stood on a succession of trial and error, wins and losses, but a constant barrage that just keep coming, just keep coming, just keep coming. At some point, shit gonna pop off. The only difference is we don't need one person or two people popping off. We need 40 popping off at one time. And that goes into my last point I want to make before I take calls. Don't be threatened by somebody coming up that might be moving a little bit faster than you. Don't be threatened. One thing that we got to stop doing is being threatened by other black people. And on camera, smiling and he, but behind the scenes, cutting other black people down. There's enough room and space for all of us. Everything needs competition. Samsung needs Apple to survive. The Samsung and Apple factory are across the street from one another. Ford needs General Motors. Honda needs Toyota. Do you know that one of the biggest investors in Honda is General Motors? One of the biggest investors in Toyota is Honda. One of the biggest investors in General Motors is Toyota and Honda. They invest in each other. You need competition. You need others to win. When you're the big bad boy of the block, you get your head chopped off, you dumb nigga. I'm tired of you little dick niggas going around thinking you want to be the only one. I've had to deal with that. Like, that's some of the shit that's a lesson I had to learn the hard way. I didn't understand how insecure men work because I'm not an insecure person. But too many times I've like worked in tandems with people, and then right when it gets to a certain point, instead of this dumb nigga looking at the vision, they looking at me. Like, nigga, I'm here for the mission. And you worried about me? I thought we was on the same team. You know how many times I have to deal with that with other black men? Niggas feeling hella insecure cause like me, I'm like, you know how America is. The fat dude is supposed to be the goofy, right? The fat dude is supposed to be the side goofy that everybody laughs at. Nobody takes the fat dude serious, right? Until they see the people take the fat dude serious. Then it goes from, oh, I got this sidekick or this person I'm cool with to, oh, this nigga's competition. I dealt with that shit when I'm in my mortgage years. I dealt with this shit in so many, not just entertainment. I'm talking about my away from entertainment career. Back in my mortgage days. I've dealt with so many dudes. And also here in entertainment too, who the minute they see me coming, and I'm more than just this novelty fat nigga, all of a sudden they switch up on me. You know how many fucking times I've had to deal with that? More often than not. Because niggas get jealous. Turns into a whole goddamn circular firing squad. Because you don't want to see it. That's how a lot of black radio got killed off. That's how a lot of black music got killed off. Beyonce over here stifling the careers of all these women. Allegedly, Jay-Z stifling the careers of all these rappers so they could be number one. Now all the music is dead because when people had the power to either empower or cut, they cut. And they kept cutting and they kept cutting and they kept cutting. And now we in 2025, music sucks as far as the mainstream goes for the most part. Thank God for Kendrick reviving real music. Learn from Michael Jackson and Arsenio. It was an episode of Arsenio Hall. What made Arsenio Hall pop off was Michael Jackson, Arsenio, and Mike Tyson. The three biggest, Eddie Murphy, Michael Jackson, and Mike Tyson. The three biggest black men on the planet at the time went on that man's show. They didn't say, he got a show. I should have had a show. So, but at the same time, I did not let all these black men that undercut me discourage me from working with black men and black women. Now, the people I work with today, I couldn't pay for these connections I have now. For some of the people that I know, that I just met through other good people. Not even on no shit, no business shit, just being a good person. Being around good people introduced me to more good people. Because another thing that I did, when I had that last time I got undercut by another nigga, I had to look in the mirror and ask myself, DeJuan, what is it in you that's attracting people trying to undercut you? What is the whole story? Where am I lacking? Where's my blind spot? And through asking that question, I was able to clean up some of my own internal bullshit. But you gotta be willing to look in the mirror and ask yourself that question, and be willing to hold yourself to the standard that you hold that the people around you. Oftentimes, people want to hold everybody else around them to a standard. Oftentimes, people want to hold, everyone else accountable, but then they don't want to look in the mirror. Because when you look in the mirror, you see an ugly ass nigga. Well, that's fine. If you see an ugly ass nigga, clean him up then. Shit. Okay, you look in the mirror, you see something ugly? Well, god damn it, fix it. Shit. Fix it if what you see is ugly. Like what Maurice White said, if it ain't no beauty, sometimes you gotta make some beauty. With that being said, I'm going to open up the phone lines, 323-744-7425. I want to hear what y'all think. 323-744-7425. And I want to show y'all the screen recording I got. This is something I was watching. I saw this video earlier on Luther Vandross. This shit was so goddamn dope. You go away, this is Luther and Nat Adderley. Always. And why the fuck ain't the audio coming through to me? I cannot hear. Why can't I hear?
I'm gonna open up the phone.
I cannot hear. Let me see. I know y'all can hear. Hold on. I can't hear whoever's on the phone. Whoever's on the phone, call back. Call back. I gotta fix my audio issues. Hold on. I gotta fix my audio. I got to fix that damn. See, god damn it. That power outage fucked me up. Now my audio ain't right. I want to play this Nat Adderley video real quick. Well, now my audio ain't right. Let me see here. Audio monitor. Let's see now. Okay, now I'm double. Can y'all hear me? Yeah, I'm double talking. Can't do that. Can't do that. Yeah, hold on, goddammit. I'm double talking. Hold on. Let me change. What about now? No, but I can't hear y'all. Fuck. See about now. I love you. Nope. See, this is what happens when you have fucking power outages. Ain't shit working right. Hold on. Let me try something else. Let me try something else. Okay, I want to hear what y'all got to say. Okay, I got my Scarlet. Broadcast, yep. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't know why I can't hear. Let me turn this up. Why can't I? Give me a second, y'all. Give me a second. I do want to get some calls in, but if I can't get calls in, then fuck it, we'll do a Q&A later on tonight. If I can't get any calls in, we'll do a Q&A later on. Come on, motherfucker. There we go. Oh, shit. But I hear myself. What? Do y'all hear me doubling? What about now? Nope. Well, it looks like I'm not going to have no motherfucking audio. I'm going to have to probably start it over. And I don't want to start it over. I'm sorry, y'all. God damn it. And I still got people calling in there, obviously not listening. Mic. Recording. Okay. Output. Audio monitor. I'm gonna do one more thing in system settings. If this shit don't work, then it ain't gonna be no motherfucking calls. I'll just get back to running my motherfucking mouth. And then we'll be out of here. This some bullshit. This is what happens when you have power outages at night that are out of your control. Everything looks good on my end, but it obviously is not working good. Yeah. It's not gonna work, y'all. Audio's not gonna work today. It looks like I'm gonna have to restart this shit. Yeah, I'm gonna have to yeah. Well, no phone lines today, y'all. We'll do a Q&A tonight from the garage. That's what we'll do. We'll just do a Q&A tonight from the garage. We'll just do a Q&A from the garage. Damn it. And I got people calling in. Whoever is calling in did not get the memo that my shit ain't working. I can't hear you. How can we talk on the phone if I can't hear you? Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. My shit ain't working right, and I wanted to hear what some of y'all had to say about this particular topic. Oh, well. This is what happened. Yeah, stop calling. And people trying to still call, it's like, hey, I told y'all niggas what's going on. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Can y'all hear me now? Am I echoing? I fixed it. We got it. We got it. We got it. We got it. Do y'all hear me doubling now? All right, cool. I fixed it. We good. We good. Call in, motherfuckers. Call in. Yeah, okay, we good. We good. I can hear now. I can hear now. We good. Because I haven't been able to hear my background music the whole time. I just could see it was playing. I saw y'all could hear it. Yeah, we good. Just that power outage messed up all my settings, y'all. But we good, too. All right, call in, goddammit. Anybody got an issue with what I said? Say something now, nigga. Say something. Say something. All right, cool. I fixed it. We good. We good. Call in. What's up, caller? What's the name? Where you calling from? And please mute me in the background.
Hey, I'm glad it worked out. This is Darius from San Diego.
Darius from San Diego. What's on your mind?
Man, I've never been a fan of boycotts, even strategically. I've never really witnessed, in my lifetime, I've never witnessed the level of discipline and the level of strategy that's needed to pull it off. To me, the nail in the coffin of boycotts was when Gucci had that situation with the sweater.
Oh, yeah.
It looked like a monkey, right? And till this day, I still can't believe this. So the sweater came out. T.I. went to IG and said, let's do a 3-month boycott. Now, why in the hell would you do 3 months? And it seemed like instead of really being serious about boycotting Gucci, it was like he was trying to kind of finesse a situation or a business dealing with them. And it just kind of just let people know how unserious Black people were. And then on top of that, boycotting Gucci for 3 months doesn't do anything to them economically.
And
They've been around
remember when Floyd Mayweather's like, "Fuck that boycott," he posed in Gucci.
Exactly, and that's kind of part of it too, because so one, about the 3 months, Gucci's been around since the 1900s. They're not going to flinch at 3 months. And then on top of that, you're right. Floyd went ahead and went into the store just to let black people know how unserious they were. So it was like a double whammy, right? It was like, we're unserious, we're not focused, we're not even we don't have any fortitude or anything behind it, no substance behind it. And then Dwan, fast forward, we're still wearing Gucci now.
Yeah, man, that's why the whole Gucci boycott thing to me was just like, but boycotts, our $2 trillion that we have, that ain't nothing compared to the money that's out there. I don't think we realize that, because we let these people puff our head up and be like, we got $2 trillion to control. Okay, do y'all see how label ridden the Asians are? Like, when it comes to labels, there ain't nobody on labels harder than Asians. I read a story just about 10 years ago about how Rodeo Drive was suffering, because Rodeo Drive depends on Asians to come in to buy off Rodeo Drive. But since Vegas built up all of its Tiffany's and high-end retail shops in Vegas, it made Rodeo Drive suffer, because the Asians just would go right to Vegas, where they used to stop in LA just to go down Rodeo Drive to shop, and then go to Vegas. When Vegas started bringing in Tiffany's and all these other places, that's when they were really hurting, because you got people. Americanism is now global, so you got people in whole other countries that are billionaires and trillionaires and millionaires that love Americana and anything Americans do, and whatever black people make hot. If black people stop buying Jordans to this day, they still got so many goddamn Asians and other races that's buying all that shit. And they all got way more money than we do. We are some of the least materialistic out of a lot of these other countries. Asians, the Persians. These people are way on materialism more than we are. And they got more money to spend on it. So all that, we going to boycott. Man, we got these materialistic people right here that come right in and buy too. Get the shit out of my face.
And my last point, and when black people bring up the Montgomery bus boycott, of course, I mean, it was an amazing example for the length of period of time. I think it was almost like a year that people boycotted. But one of the main lessons from that is, at the end of that story, it should have been a independent black bus company that should have opened, and then that, maybe all that support would have went there. So I don't even think we learned from that. So, like you said earlier in the conversation about options. So we're gonna ban Target. Now we're supposed to give love to Costco. You go to the website, there's no diversity in their board. I don't know the last time Costco was trying to rep for the black community. It just doesn't make any sense, man. It
don't make no sense, my man. But I'm gonna get to the next call. I got somebody to keep trying to call in. So let me get to the next call, my brother.
Thanks.
You have a good one. I literally got somebody that looked down at their phone to ask me to say the number. The phone number is right there. Right there. 323-744-7425. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Oh, yeah, this is my boy. What's going on, Mr. DeJuan? How you doing? This is Barry B. from Queens, New York City, brother.
Oh, you finally used your dick beaters to call in. What's going on?
Oh, yeah. I'm a keeper of buck, DeJuan. I'm so happy to talk to you, DeJuan. I'm so happy, bro. I keep it a buck. I love you on Correct Facts, bro. I love Jordan, bro. But, DeJuan, me and you got a little disagreement. But I still love you as a brother, though. I love you.
I don't have a disagreement with you. I don't know anything about you, but go ahead.
No, you definitely don't. But you probably heard of when, I told you before, when we came out in '84, Alonzo hired Davey DMX. I put it in the chat all the time. I was a 17-year-old kid from Queens. And he was asking He was asking Jay. Matter of fact, he was asking Jay about how to get in the record business. Jay was like, I don't know. We're doing the best we can. But anyway, like I said, I've seen it all. I grew up with LL Cool J, all of that. Run all of those cats, 50 Cent, all of them. I know. I got all this East Coast stuff. I even know your girl Tashana when she was hopping on the bus going to tryouts in the 80s. When she was going to Manhattan for acting jobs.
Well, according to Melly Mel, you don't know nothing about hip hop because you ain't from the Bronx. That's what Melly Mel said.
Okay, Dawn. I am hip hop royalty. I just never met Dawn. I seen it all.
Melly Mel said you don't know nothing because you ain't from the Bronx. That's Melly Mel.
Okay, I love you, Dawn. I'm gonna tell you something right now. Hip hop is it really is, because I seen it start, Dawn. I seen it. It was a New York City thing. Maybe I want to
stick to what we talking about here with the DEI. With the DEI stuff.
What happened, Dawn?
I want to talk about the DEI stuff. I don't want to talk about New York. New York got way too much attention.
You don't like New York, so let's talk about hip hop. Okay. All right.
No, let's talk about the DEI boycott. Let's talk about the DEI boycott. We want to stick on subject. I'm not talking about music.
All right, not a problem. Okay, let's talk about boycott. Black people don't do boycotts good, because like I put in the chat, King said to boycott Coca-Cola. King said to boycott Wonder Bread. We didn't ever do that. We never did it. We can't get together on nothing as black people. I wish we could, because I like my black people, but it seems we cannot get together. It seems like we had a more commonality in Jim Crow days. We were more together.
Who are you like? Do you have like a crew that you do business with and that you circulate your dollar with? Wherever you are, I don't know where you are, but do you have that?
Pretty much. I kind of do. I got about 5 cats that I know since mid '80s that we do business together. But like I said,
question. Let's take this slow. Okay, so you're black. Your crew is black. Yes, y'all do things together. So why would you repeat a lie saying we don't do things together? You do it. You're an example. You and your friends. You guys are an example of doing things together right now in real time.
Yeah, but as a whole, black people, you can't get. Let's take
it slow.
Okay, let's take it slow.
What whole group works together? Because when I look at, let's say for let's go with the Asians. Asians don't which Asians? The Chinese don't support the Koreans. As a matter of fact, do you know that? Let's go to the Japanese and the Chinese. The Japanese do everything that they can, economically and physically, and also on the streets, to undercut the Chinese. Do you know that? They don't get along at all. New York. They don't. I'm saying they don't. I'm saying the Chinese and the Japanese do not work together. Matter of fact, they see things completely different. They both will bend the knee to a white person before they work with one another. And do you also know a lot of your Asians that let's take the Chinese massage parlors. The reason why they do work together is because most of those people that come over, they're trafficked over and they owe a debt for coming to America. And so they're actually victims of human trafficking that are actually prostitutes, that they have to work for these Asians or be either sent back or even killed off. Here in LA, we have a major issue in Palos Verdes and the areas where Asians live of home invasion robberies. Why? Because a lot of those Asian shop owners carry cash and bring that cash home. So it's a major issue here in California of Asians, specifically areas where Asians live, specifically City of Industry, Azusa, Palos Verdes, where the Asian enclaves are. Some major issues of home invasion robberies. They also have with their businesses. My brother is a cop, so I know a lot of the stuff on the back side of it. The LA County Sheriff, they're not even allowed to police in a lot of those Asian areas. They're only there by name. when issues happen, they don't call the cops. They have directives from China that are allowed to operate within the United States borders versus LA street gangs. The minute a shot caller get a little bit of a pull within his gang, he gets arrested and taken off the streets. So Asian gangs are allowed to operate. They have gangs within the police department. And there's research, you can look this up, the LA County, LAPD gangs. You have Asian-only gangs, you have Latino-only gangs within the police department that are allowed to operate, that's being told, whole reports written about them, nothing's being done. And they have these whole criminal underground human trafficking, all kinds of shit going on. The only time they come together is when they come together to not spend money with black businesses. See, when I go into the black businesses, I see black people spending money. You know who you don't see in black businesses? You don't see Asians. You don't see Persians. You might see one Mexican if he cool with the person behind the counter. You don't see nobody else supporting us. But what I see just off your experience you just gave me, I do see black people supporting each other. Do I see black people fucking each other? Hell yeah, I see that shit too. But everybody gets fucked over. That's a part of life.
Yeah, it's part of life. Yeah, it is. You're right about that.
Everybody gets fucked.
But I just want to ask you a question, Dewan, because like I said, we got New York and we got Cali. I always wondered, like, as far as the lifestyle, because I've been out there one time, and, it was kind of cool. I've been out there for 5-6 days. But I never understood, why do black people prey on black people like they do in Cali? Like, I mean, of course, black people rob people I get it. But it just seems like, you can't even go to McDonald's drive-thru with somebody preying on you trying to get you, man.
You know what that is?
I don't get that. I really don't get that.
It's two things. You're listening to too much news and you're listening to too much rap. Black people don't prey on each other right here. I've been in the hood. I've never not lived in the black neighborhood my whole 43 years here. I've lived in good black neighborhoods. I've lived in the hood. I lived in in-between neighborhoods, working class neighborhoods. And you know who gang members fuck with? Other gang members. If you're not a gang member, you don't have no issues with gang, and you never have. I never got I'm talking about 1988 LA, 1994 LA, when I was riding my bike. I saw them film Boys in the Hood in my neighborhood. I didn't have those issues because I was declared square. I declared myself as a square, and I had no gang issues ever whatsoever at all. So, but, I do know black people who try to act hard, and yeah, those guys, they have issues. But it comes back to you. How are you acting? Are you involved? If you're involved, then yeah, you gonna get preyed on like a motherfucker. If you're not, you're good.
Yeah. But like I said, I mean, and us in New York, I just gotta say one thing. When Biggie went out there, man, and got murdered, that really, really, really divided us from between. We didn't really have no beef with y'all. When Biggie went out there and got murdered, that really, really, that was really.
Think about this. And I hear you. I'm with you on that. But think about this.
That really hurt.
Think about this. Think about this.
Biggie loved y'all.
Think about this.
Biggie loved Cali.
Think about this. Tupac got shot in New York, and LA people wasn't like fuck New York. We just like the nigga got shot in New York.
Tupac's from Harlem.
But Tupac represented the West. His words, not ours. We embraced him because he embraced us. But we didn't hold it over New York head when New York shot him. Like, come on, people get shot. Why y'all need to be holding that shit over Puffy's head for having his ass out there during that time?
Nah, I really believe I'm gonna keep.
That's Puffy's problem. That mean, listen to Gene Deal. Listen to Gene Deal.
We think Puffy set him up. We think
so. There you go. Leave us alone. But I got some. And again, Biggie died damn near not 25 years ago. Black Me Bang damn near almost. Next year be 2 years will be 30 years since Biggie died. At some point, you got to get over it. But I got to take this other call, my man. Thanks for giving us a call.
Okay, no problem. Yo, Dewan, listen, I love L.A. I'm coming out there in a couple of months, even though the fire is in peace, and we got sympathy for it. We love L.A. New York, okay? It ain't no beef. We love y'all, okay?
Got you.
You gotta give us some respect. You gotta give us some respect.
I respect New York when New York respects everybody else. I appreciate y'all.
Hey, why don't you come visit?
What's up, caller? What's the name? Where you calling from? Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, my name is My name is Mike. I'm calling from over in Saudi Arabia. I got a question for you, Mr. Dewan B. You were right about what you said about nobody supports blacks because I remember in Atlanta. I lived in Atlanta, and no one came to black businesses, and you were right about that. And another thing I got to ask you, maybe you can answer this question. You made a point how Asians stick together. During these recent ICE raids, does ICE even go into the Asian community in LA, or do they go into Chinatown, or how does ICE move within the Asian community in LA? And one last question before I hang up: what was the legacy of James Cleveland, you think, on music? And I'll let you go. Thanks, Mr. Dewambi. Take care.
All right, thanks. That's a great question that he asked about the Asians. Every now and again, you'll see raids on those rub and tug facilities, but that's very rarely ICE. That's more so the DEA doing some criminal shit, and usually that happens when there's like some criminal shit going on. But I would like to see some ICE raids on these rub and tugs and these pedicure factories, but no, they kind of leave them alone. And then my answer on James Cleveland's impact in music. James Cleveland has an immeasurable impact in music, and I'm gonna be breaking a lot of that stuff down in my gospel documentary on how sometimes we can get caught up in what the person did and who they were as a person, and really we have to understand that the singer is no different than an actor on TV. They're playing a role, and they're singing an expression of something on how they feel. It doesn't necessarily mean that's who they are. But we'll go deeper into that James Cleveland talk. I got a caller right now. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Dwayne. This is Devin from Chicago, your mod.
Dwayne. What's going on, Devin?
I got irritated just a second ago at that caller. Here, Biggie is dead. That don't have nothing to do with nothing.
Been dead.
And then he's talking about some black people don't work together. What world do he live in?
And that's the thing, like, my question is this, Devin. How many black people need to work together? When it comes down to it, we all got our own cliques, and we live in these micro environments. Especially the older you get, the less people you're around. And that's how business is. You look at Quentin Tarantino film, every movie's going to be Samuel L. Jackson. You look at the old Spike Lee films, every movie's going to be almost the same core of people. People tend to work in these small environments. They don't work across massive environment. People work in these pods. All races do.
Yeah, but I'm concerned about black people. But I kind of take that back. It's just that most people do not network to meet people in other places. They stay in their own cocoon or whatever, their area, and that's why a lot of people can't get ahead, because they don't want to network and meet people and take chances to work with other black people.
And they don't want to acknowledge the black people that they have. Black people don't ever work together, but you got your auntie gave you money to start your business. Your biggest customers, your cousin's best friend, everybody buying from you is black, but you turn around and be like, black people don't work together. Stop it.
Right. I mean, I met you. I became your mod. I live all the way in Chicago.
Right.
And you live all the way in LA.
Right. Y'all buy T-shirts and all kind of stuff for me all the damn time. Like, black people.
It feel like believe it or not, the people I talk to every day are not in Chicago. They in other cities. It's so funny. It feel like they're right here with me, and they in other cities. A lot of my friends, everybody, it's like they're not even here. It's like I'm in a city that I'm not even from.
Right.
My home is everywhere else but Chicago, and this is where I'm from, but my home is everywhere else.
And that's the new world that we're going into. As black people are getting gentrified out of our cities, as we're reshuffling throughout this country, people are going to find each other online and networking in non-traditional spaces, because they're doing that. You see the social engineering is targeting on wherever there's a concentration of black people. They bring in immigrants, whether it be illegally or through H-1B visa program, and they busted up our neighborhoods. So our neighborhoods are now going to be virtual. But that's what it is now.
Well, I'll let you go and finish. I'll keep
All right.
listening to you. Happy deportation week.
We're gonna talk about that tomorrow. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, I think either tonight, if I might do it live tonight from my garage. If I don't do it tonight, tomorrow we're gonna talk about these deportations going on here in America. What's up, Carter? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, I'm LC. I represent LA, Crenshaw District, to be more specific, you know?
Yes, sir. What's on your mind, brother?
Man, I'm finally glad to get through. But yeah, what I want to expound with I want to basically talk about what the last caller was saying, right? Because he was like, black people, we don't support each other and everything like that. And I didn't hear black people with this self-defeated mind state, and I'm glad I done heard you attack that before, because I would hear black people say that, and I'm like, hold on. I'm in this black barbershop right now. Across the street is a black business. You know, you got Taco Bell on Crenshaw and near Vernon. I see nothing.
You got
but
Daddy Dave's right there. You got Taco Bell. You got the barbershop. Right. All these never black customers.
Yeah, and I'll be thinking to him like, damn, how come I don't see like an Asian or white person just come through the door and just, you know, support like how because even though we support our own, we still go and, you know, probably support the Mexican that got a good taco spot or something, or the Ramonas, or, you know what I mean? Something
Ramonas,
like that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I just want to talk about that, because, you know, every time I hear black people like say things like that, I'm like, okay, but I see all these other examples, and then once they start going on it, once it get more back and forth, I'm like, okay, well, what's wrong with you then? How come you can't help build this thing up to where it's supposed to be? You know, why it gotta be all of us as a collective? No, it start with me and you that's talking right now, and then we can get other people along and other people along. It don't have to be this big old kaboom, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
Change usually start with a little spark. Once that little spark ignite a fire, then the fire just gonna keep going, and it becomes something massive. But I don't want to take too much of your time, though. I thank you for having me on. I'm glad I finally got through.
Yes, sir, man. You have a good one.
You too.
He's 100% right. Like, you go to the Mer Park, he's right around the corner from where my man Mark Prince's shop is. You see white folks coming in, taking pictures, like, ooh, like it's a zoo. But you're not going to see them they're not about to sit down and eat a meal at Daddy Dave's. They're not about to hit up Taco Bell. They're not about to go in those businesses and spend money. You don't see these people spending money with us. And only for us to hear us say we don't spend money with you. The only way a black business can exist is if black people are spending money with them. The only way one can exist. Because nobody else do. It's time that we confront that right there. Talk about some DEI. Let's confront that elephant in the room. Caller, that caller hung up. So whoever's calling, call back. That caller hung up. That's the part we gotta confront. Niggas gotta grow some balls and talk about what it really is. See, it's easy to diss another nigga. It's easy to sit around and say what black people don't do. How about you tell the truth? How many times do you see any of them in your shit? What's up, Carter? Where you calling from?
How's it going, Dewan? Man, your conversation got me thinking I'm a rarity out here in Orange County.
You in the OC? You
yeah,
surrounded.
Man, I'm originally from San Gabriel Valley. I grew up in Duarte in Morovia, California.
Oh yeah, right there on the foothills.
Yeah, man. But you got me feeling like a unicorn out here, because 90% of my clients are Asian. Or Chinese, to be exact.
Well, what do you do?
And what I do is I help kids not out on their college applications, because I think you're aware of this, but a lot of the Asian children in these neighborhoods in Irvine and South Orange County, a lot of their resumes all look the same. They have the top grades, top SAT scores, but they blend in with each other, so they have nothing that helps them stand out. So what I do is I help them focus on a specific interest and build a project like an app, right? And a service and tech research to help them express their personality through proof and contribution of something they're interested in, instead of talking about it.
Mm-hmm. That's dope.
So
it's good that you got that. My most recent IEP client was an Indian.
Oh wow!
People from India. one thing about the Asians, are you in Orange County? So are you dealing with Filipino or?
I'm dealing strictly with most of my students are directly from China.
China, okay.
They're in they come to private school here, but they travel from China. They're like
you in some of those industries now. You still won't get no white people to come with your black ass.
I have the only other student that isn't Chinese is white.
Yeah,
and I recently helped them. I don't know if you're familiar with what the Congressional App Challenge is.
Yeah, I know what that is. Yeah, the whole app thing. Yeah, out there, it's mostly white out there. Well, it's mostly in Irvine. The Chinese have been taking over. You're not going to get too many. You have that one white person. You're not going to get too many white people. You will get some Asians. You'll get some Indians too when it comes around education. My IEP stuff, white people, they would see me and be like, yeah, nah. But I will get some fresh off the boat Indians because these people come to America and they think it's one thing and then they get here and realize it's something else. So they'll go to an American for that. But now I'll tell you right now, if you work retail, if you worked at that furniture sales or anything retail down there, they won't even hire your black ass. And if they do,
this is right across the street where I live. It's a marketplace. If I try to open up shop there, they walk right past me like I didn't exist.
I know, my wife used to do way back in the day. She did furniture sales, and the agents will come in, and they will wait on a white person an hour sometime to finish with their appointment before they dealt with her. And she didn't even work at a black-owned company. She worked at a white-owned company. These people, this is a thing when it comes to them. How many times do you see them in? Well, it ain't. I can't give you the black restaurant. Ain't too many black restaurants in Irvine.
No, at all, man. I'm only out here because of education. Going to college and then just having to be where I'm at. Currently. But I started this business from home because I'm disabled too. I use a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And I have 2 kids. So, when I'm at home, I'm like, what can I do from home? So I started this. And I hear the conversation, but I also want to ask you something. I want to offer my services to brothers that have been affected by the fire, brothers and sisters that have been affected in Altadena, my area. And if you wanted to connect at all sometime, man, I would love to connect because I want to give them my services for absolutely nothing.
Email me.
Okay. I'll look up your information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Info@DewanB.com. Info@DewanB.com.
Okay, perfect, man. But you're right. You're absolutely right. And I heard this conversation just in passing, and I'm like, man, he's right. Let me call in because, that's just...
Yeah, you're right, too, because sometimes there are specialty fields where they can only come to an American,
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's how my IEP was. When I did IEP, my last client was like some Indian Americans, but every white person they went through wasn't getting what they needed to get done. And they came to me and it was like, okay, but the white folks, they would call me but then on the phone, but then they see me and
turn around, right? But here's one thing I want to say. To any black listener listening. We have personality. And I hate to say this, but in my industry, there's a lack of that. And that's why they're getting rejected, right? By colleges. They could have the top GPA. They could have the best SAT scores in the nation, but if you lack personality or anything that makes you unique, you're not getting in, If there's 50,000 applicants applying to Stanford and Harvard, and there's only room for 2,000 each year for attendance, they got to stand out. So if you're black and you're listening to this, we have so much personality that we don't even know what to do with it.
That's true. Yeah, email me, and if anybody else out there is looking to put your child in the school, email you, email me also, and I'll link y'all two up, all right?
Okay, for sure, man. And you take care. I love what you're doing, man. I'll email you.
Yes, sir, man. Have a good one.
You too.
Yeah. And my wife, years ago, she worked furniture sales for a white company. Them motherfuckers was averse to spending money with black people. What's up, Carlos? Where you calling from?
Hello.
Hey, can you turn me off in the background, please?
Oh, I'm watching you on the TV. Hold on. Let me turn your TV down. Hello?
Yep.
Hey. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. No, D, I fuck with you, man. I think you a good guy.
I appreciate that.
And I'm just wondering, like, do you think that it's weird to want Africans and Jamaicans and people from South America to like stick together? Like, I know you're a part of this lineage, but we can't do it alone. Even America can't do it alone. They always have like different areas in the world where they make sure that they become allies with people so that they can take over. So how can we do it alone? And it seems like everybody is talking about this delineating to be one. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
That's a great. I'm glad. I want to first off thank you for calling in and asking that question. All right, I appreciate the question. Let me tell you. Let me give you an example of how it works in America. Okay, and let me give you an analogy when it comes to music. If I have a band,
okay,
and we're playing a song,
okay,
and the person playing the guitar chooses to say, "I'm not part of this band. I'm part of that band," and they play their own song. How can our song become a hit if 2 members of my 7-person band decides they're going to play music, whatever they want to play, and that whatever they're playing is not the song of what we're playing? How can we win? How can you win if you have a basketball team? You got 5 players on the court, and your point guard is on cold, your shooting guard is on cold, but your small forward, every time you pass him the ball, he's giving the other team the ball right back, saying, "I want to be your friend." How can you win? The answer is you can't. What happened is the onus is on the people. If you look at it anthropologically, anytime you go to a new city, a new state, a new zip code, let alone a new country, you want to study the environment of where you're going to. What are the politics of the geopolitics of where you, like I'm from LA. If I decide to move to Dallas, what the politics like? How do they get down? Because where they get down is going to be different than how I get down in LA. I got to know which neighborhoods act a certain way. And then when I go into those neighborhoods, I got to make sure that I'm on code with that particular environment.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm thinking.
But that's
have to have friends.
But let me finish. That's on the onus.
Oh, sorry.
And I'm gonna let you get I'm gonna let you speak again, okay?
No. Go ahead, talk. This is your show. I'm sorry.
That's on the onus of the people coming in to learn where they're moving to, not the people living there to adjust to who just got there. So the whole situation of being on code and delineating, that's something that people who move to America and put their foreign flag up and wave my country when it's something good, but say, I don't deal with Black Americans, don't hire Black Americans. When they get their money, they don't reinvest in Black American neighborhoods. They send it back home. That's something for them to answer. Because what I want to answer and tell those people who choose to make money in America and send it home and not keep it here in Black America, this is what I want to tell you guys. When it comes, all you got to do is study the United States of America during that time between World War I and World War II. Black America, like I said earlier in the show, Black Americans had an ethnogenesis. Well, so did white America. In the 1890s, the Italians, the Irish, the Greeks, they weren't black. They were out of complected. They were this middle ground, but they weren't white. And they had nothing but infighting. And white America would not accept them. The only way white people accepted them was during the time of World War II.
Yeah, but
let me finish.
Oh, sorry.
White people accepted. They got accepted into whiteness through violence. Black people aren't being violent with these people. White people lynched the Irish, the Italians, the Greeks. They made them change their names from Christopherson to Christopher, from Dumpf, as in Donald Trump's ancestral last name was Dumpf. But if he wanted to integrate to America, he couldn't call himself Dump. It was too ethnic. He had to change his name to Trump. And these other groups, when they came to America, in order to get on code with white people, they had to change their name. They had to disavow where they came from. You're an American now. You're no longer Danish. You're an American now. You're no longer Polish or German or French. That's the reason why you don't see too many French people in America, because they won't renounce their French identity. So French white people don't work well in the United States of America because they won't get rid of France. The only white people that we see as white right now, they're not one monolithic group. They're a group of people who've really been fucked over.
Not at all.
But they chose. But what they did do was they got on code with the white people who were already here. And that's how their relationship works. Make no mistake about it. All those other ethnic groups, they know the Anglo-Saxon Protestant is head honcho. And they fall in line.
Yeah.
So
so
when it comes to us delineating, we're delineating because we have to get on code with ourselves first. And anybody who wants to be a part of that code is welcome. But as long as they got their flag up, as long as they say my country's better than this country, we started hip hop, you're delineating yourself from us because you decided to move here. We didn't go there. Now I'm gonna let you go ahead and say what you have to say.
No, a little scared.
You moved here. We didn't go to your house.
No, like I said, I agree with everything you just said. I mean, it's practical. It makes all the sense in the world. I was just thinking, and this is just what I was just thinking, is that, like, when I look at America, I see that they have to, get different little countries and different little islands so they can strategize to be all over the world. And they don't like them. They wouldn't let them come over, but they make sure that they build some kind of unity with those countries, some kind of connection with those countries to make sure, okay, we can get here, we can get there, we can get here. Or we already got our things here, our things here, our things here. So I'm thinking, like, why wouldn't
the root
Americans?
You know the root of those connections? Let me give you the root of those connections that white people built. Those countries offer goods and services and business that benefit America. What do Africa or the Caribbean offer Black Americans that benefit us?
Well, they don't get to.
Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. Then they got to figure that out. They got to figure it out. That, like, if you're 90% of the people where you are, that's not a lot of me to ask you to figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm not asking a lot. See, we as Black people, we act like these people just get along. No, they have a common economic interest. A white person in America knows he can go to South Africa and mine some diamonds and make some money. A white person in Australia knows he can go to New Zealand and they can all capitalize off these aboriginals. A white person in Germany knows that he can go to anywhere another white person is and there's a benefit financially mutual to everybody involved. When it comes to us and Africans, us and Caribbeans, unfortunately,
that's what I'm saying. You don't think we need to start working together?
No, there is no. How can we work together if I'm the only one giving? A give and take is a two-part transaction. I come to you with money to get land.
I don't think.
Can I at least get citizenship without red tape? At least.
Yeah, you're right about that.
That's your land.
They should have been. Yeah. You're right about that. They should have been telling us, hey, nigga, come on right on over here.
Your American money is good with us, and then you're going to come spend money, and we're going to, in return, whatever money you make from this mango field we got, we can do a connection with America. Then we can set up our own crew, like shipping lines, airplane. We ain't got to have our own line. We can use
But
FedEx.
I think it be them crackers. I think it be them crackers getting involved and messing it up.
Even with you're right. But let me tell you this: they mess up our stuff here in Black America. We don't stop. We're not supposed to have civil rights.
You're right.
We're supposed to still be on the slave fields.
I live in Charleston, South Carolina, and I know the bullshit that them crackers will give you.
They do it to us all the time. But guess what? We still pull ourselves up by our bootstraps. We work hard and we keep doing it.
Yeah, nah, fuck that shit. They working hard.
We work hard.
We work smart.
They break it. They break our means. They break our shit up, and we scramble around for 10, 20 years, and then we figure it right the fuck back out and get right back on it. That's what they need to do. White people gonna fuck up their shit. Well, nigga, build it again. Build it again. Build it again. All right.
So do you think we can like? So do you think like that? Because what's his name? What's his name? Tariq.
Mm-hmm.
And he got a FBA. So do you think we would be better just trying to be by ourselves?
Power comes in small numbers. Power comes in exclusion. That's all power has always done. All you got to do is study the Crusades, my brother. White people weren't on code, but it was a small group of people that followed Charlemagne the Conqueror, and this small little fringe group that kept going, and after a few hundred years, it grew into something that the world is still now dealing with till this day. Everything starts in small numbers.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, but thanks for giving us a call, my brother.
Oh, okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. Thank you for accepting my call. Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, I appreciate the call. Yeah. Chat room, you niggas are unforgiving. God, y'all some assholes. My chat room was a bunch of assholes. There was a bunch of unforgiving assholes. What's up, caller? What's his name? Where you calling from?
Yeah, this is Tony from Pasadena.
Yes, sir. What's up, brother?
In California. And I agree with you for the most part as far as boycotting the really big stores. I think that works better maybe on a micro level in a small town where everybody know each other. Say, don't go to that particular store. Don't you have to be discriminated against? And I think the way, instead of boycotting, I would say it's just like I would say instead of boycotting, you just set your mind to supporting more black businesses.
Yeah. I agree. I'm with that.
And so then, what way do I say do it? Because you just can't do it all at once. Because let's say there's 100 things that you get every year, and and with some people, just like quitting smoking, they can just go cold turkey and they can just support those 100 black businesses of the things that you do get. But then there's some people they may not be able to do it. They may only be able to do 50 on that list.
Yeah.
But even if it's just one person that does one thing on that list, that's one more person that's buying from a black business. Instead of hundreds, just like you probably at that 95, between 95 and 100% level, yeah. And one thing that I do to support black businesses is like when I buy my laundry detergent, I buy from a black company online. It's called, I know it sounds like a commercial, but the True product. It's called True. It's a detergent that I get, and I say, hey, let me go ahead. And when I own a home, and when I had my roof done, I made sure I sought out a black contractor to do my roof. And so then, but basically what I'm saying is instead of boycotting, just flip that and say, hey, don't boycott, because like you said, you may need to get some some paper or some pens from Target or from whatever these, or some certain kind of clothing items, some pennies or something. But if you could just support just support black businesses, that's what I'm just some kind of messing up now.
I got, but thanks for giving us a call. No, I 100% agree with what you're saying. Instead of boycott, let's put, in other words, what you're saying is just give people direction to go in. Don't tell them what not to do. Tell them where to go. But I'm with you with that. Thanks for giving us a call, my brother.
All right now.
Yeah. He's right. He's 100% right. Chat room, chill. I can't even read the goddamn chat when I got a call. You niggas be going in. God damn. But no, he's 100% right, though. You got to point in the direction you want people to go. Which takes me to our last point I want to make tonight. I'm about to shut the phone down. Too late. I want to play this video, and then we're going to get up out of here. This is Luther Vandross and Nat Adderley rehearsing Anyone Who Had a Heart. This is what's missing from music right here. Listen to this rehearsal real quick.
Every time you go away, I'm going, yes. I always say, it's goodbye, dear.
1, 2, 3, 4,
loving you the way I do.
7, 8, 9.
Check it out, right?
2.
I'll take you back. Without you, I die, dear. Knowing I love you so. Yeah, anyone who would take me in her arms and love me too. I would love to do. You couldn't really ever want to hurt me.
Man, that was Luther Vandross, Marcus Miller, and Nat Adderley rehearsing. Nothing replaces music that's acoustic and from the soul. And that's one of the songs that I love just to really illustrate how much they took. Most things you hear now, everything's in 4/4 time. You don't hear too much stuff in 6/8. And 6/8 is a time signature that your heart beats in. And this song has a 6/8, 9/8 change. And it does things to your subconscious, to your soul, to your spirit when music has these different tempos and textures. And this sound was engineered out of Black America. And if you notice, while we're talking about DEI is all over the place. Look, you got Drake, that's DEI rap. Bruno Mars, that's DEI rhythm and blues. You got Cardi B, that's DEI. Look at your radio stations. Very few black DJs in LA and New York. DEI. DEI, it was some shit that was created to fuck black people. Period. So, anybody coming to you talking about some DEI boycott and we need DEI, tell them to wake the fuck up and just look at the world that they're in. That's what I mean by it. They got you so focused on looking in the past at a boycott, we ain't looking at the world we in right now. Even our goddamn music is being DEI'd. You know how many Luther Vandrosses and Nat Adderleys and Marcus Millers are out there running around right now that can't get on the radio because DEI music says that Bruno Mars and The Weeknd deserve that slot even though they have 1/10 of the talent as the worst singer at church. DEI's all over the goddamn place. Appreciate the super chat, Carl. When Gambino came out, the way my love, he didn't get any media backing. Yeah. People made Redbone in here. Yeah. We is like DEI has fucked us over, and it's happening right in front of our goddamn face. Down to our music. Every time you see Bruno Mars, Adele, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, you're dealing with DEI music. And that's all brought to you by these motherfucking liberals. And you see how bad the product is when it comes to music these days, mainstream, because of DEI. Fuck DEI. But you can support me at DewanB.com. Go to breakthroughcards.com to book your readings. And yeah, we'll be back at it again pretty soon. Go to patreon.com/DewanB. Got a lot of new stuff up on Patreon. We did some music mixes last week. Dr. Short interview, a lot of exclusives that are on Patreon. All right. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all again for listening. Remember, there are no perfect messengers. Only perfect messages for those willing to pick up the game. We out.